Wednesday. It's 7:30-ish, and you're here once again with the Source Wall. Me, myself, Phantom Specialist, aka Nova, aka Man Like We Read Comics too.
Yo.
Rich, and the infamous Mr. Red Hood Wu-Tang Shangalang himself. Wakanda forever. Wu-Tang forever in his case. How is everybody doing? I hope our fans are okay. They're all 7 of them. We appreciate you.
We're all good. I'm all good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Very long week.
I know. Very, very long week.
Still tripping off this. Let's just get into this. Let's shut up. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Shut up. Let's just stop it.
All right. So this podcast this week is just basically going to be all Infinity.
Yep.
We've all watched it. We've all been waiting for it for over 10 years.
10 years.
Exactly.
18 movies.
Yep. For those who've read the comics, we've been waiting for it longer than that.
Than that.
So finally it's here. And boy, it was good.
It was damn good.
Yeah. Okay, before we start, issue 19, spoil for the days of gods. So we're spoiling, right? So how did you find it? How did you find it?
Overall, I thought it was really good. For a comic book movie, I think it's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
I think it just had everything. You didn't have to. The thing about it as well, it kind of didn't have that thing where it starts off and it's like, oh, hey Michael, how's everything going? Blah blah. You know, there's no introduction. Wham bam, straight in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you haven't seen any of them, tough. You know, you're in the wrong cinema. You're in the wrong place. Yeah. This is a film for people who's been watching it on day. Or been watching the relevant ones, and they're just straight in it.
You only need to see certain Marvel movies, to be honest, to kind of, like, I would say both Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, Civil War. What else?
I think the Captain America films, the Avengers films,
the Captain America films, the Avengers films, and Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, the Iron Man.
I want to say Iron Man. Maybe Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Only in the sense of Tony going through his PTSD and why he was going through it.
And obviously Iron Man 1 as well. You got to watch that. I think being the first one, you know.
Yeah. Just watch them all, isn't it? Right. But, can we talk about the people that? Okay, let's just talk about Thanos just real quick because he's just the guy, isn't it? He's great. Like, I'm just letting you know. 4 people are not coming back. Yeah, ever in this shit. Time down. Yeah, dead.
That's one thing I was upset about. Like, it was like, all right, there's loads of dead bodies there, but my man had to die first. It's like, I thought we was over that. What's going on?
2018, we've got a lot of work to do.
Isn't it?
Yeah? Loki. When I saw the Loki part, literally, I was in the cinema. I was like, well, that throws that theory out the window.
Loki was... Last week I was saying, what if he was working for Thanos the whole time? No, I don't think so.
You know, Loki got strangled to death.
Yeah. Not even strangled, but he literally broke with his thumb that bit on your throat. He literally... They just weren't wasting any time.
That was a good performance, though, I think, from Loki, Tom Hiddleston. I think that whole kind of that kind of set it off, that whole thing, because it kind of goes back to when he first had the job to do, and even Thanos was like, "Well, you messed it up, you know, you failed," and he goes, "Well, I take experience as experience," kind of thing.
Yeah.
So love that purple man. and then the part where was it with Hulk getting literally smacked into the body. Like that was just...
that was quite mad.
Like he had his first real defeat. He's had his first defeat, and he's like, I ain't coming out.
Yeah.
He's just not coming out.
Yeah, he got fucked. he definitely got KO'd, man. That was a good fight as well. Quite a few Street Fighter combos there as well, man.
Yeah, it's true. I love how it made it look like
oh, let him have fun, and I was like,
yeah, I was gonna say
and
that.
Then Thanos is just like bam, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And then Hulk's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just sit still for a minute. No, it was deep. It was deep.
Oh, it was definitely worth the wait then. That's what we say, yeah. Oh, no, after that 10 years, 18 films, yeah.
Definitely worth the wait. Nothing. I mean, I'm gonna watch it a second time, but I don't have any complaints regarding the story, the villain, the acting, the anything. Nobody was irritating. Even Pepper Potts. When Tony went on the ship.
Yeah.
You know, usually you get that character who's like, no, don't do it. You know they gotta go save the world. Shut the. Do you know what I mean? But when Pepper was like, no, get off that.
That was a bit sad, man. Yeah.
That scene was great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
That's even though it's just her voice, like I felt her pain in that
Yeah.
scene. It was such a great scene. I loved it. And he's like, and then that was just a great scene. I love that scene.
Yeah. Oh, quick question. Why do we think Heimdall transported Hulk off the?
Because Hulk was the only one who could. Not really. He's not the only one, but I think he just had the chance to transport him and let Hulk actually go back and warn everyone else. And I think if I don't know. I just think Hulk he's gonna bang him up next round, man. He's gonna definitely bang him up next round, without a doubt.
I think maybe he knew that Thor kind of served a higher purpose, so he kept Thor there, and then it'll be for Hulk to be the messenger, if that makes sense, and then to get everyone assembled, if you will.
Yeah.
I think he made the right choice. It was just, and you know, Hulk is from Earth for reasons. So it just made sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. I just want to get your views on that. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Rick. Sorry.
Should we go from the list? What was your list?
It was just kind of like a rough kind of thing to go through. Like, yeah. All right. So, what do we feel about? Well, let's go through the characters in that case. So we've talked about Loki. Yep. Hulk. One thing about the Hulk, I kind of like and kind of didn't like what they did with the trailers, where you see the Hulk in it, and you was kind of expecting Hulk to come out a bit more, and especially in the scene in Wakanda, you would have thought that he would have come out and done the jogging thing with him, but no.
You know why that's funny to me?
Because you didn't watch the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer. And you know, I went into this movie not watching any TV spots, any trailers, any spoilers that all these social media has put up. And I was blown away. Everything was new to me. Everything. And I loved it. So fuck your trailers.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is...
Excuse me. Don't like swearing on it.
I know. Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't really watch trailers. And to be fair, I was a bit gutted at some points where I was like, oh man, I saw this in the trailer. I know what's gonna happen next, kind of thing. But to be fair, I think what they do, because there was another bit in the trailer that they showed, and they change it up. They do change it up. The bit with Spider-Man when he's going through. I think what did Thanos? He threw the moon at them, but he threw something else as well. And Spider-Man was going around and saving.
Oh, I love
that bit was sick. That bit was sick.
I cannot wait to get to Spider-Man's suit, by the way.
And speaking of Spider-Man, speaking of Spider-Man, his introduction, like not on the bus, but when they called him Cole Obsidian, but Black the Wolf, when he went to punch Iron Man, and he just stops and he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
No, yeah,
that was a sick entry.
We've had this is the best one. Like he was on R.I.P. to Spider-Man, because like how he passed, I was just like, nah, the tear came from the eye. I was like, no.
When he went, that was harsh, because it was like you just saw everybody fade. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it came to,
let's get onto that later. Let's get onto that later. All right. So I like the introduction where the Hulk actually ends up in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange is looking at the Bruce Banner. He's like, Thanos is coming. Thanos is coming. And Doctor Strange is like, who?
Yeah. For some reason, I expected. I don't know why I expected Doctor Strange to be like, oh my god. Like,
it was. Because I'm thinking, if you've got, like, especially one of the most important Infinity Stones in terms of time, you've got the Time Stone. You know what I mean? Like, you should kind of know who.
Well, he doesn't use it all the time.
I was going to say, we have to remember that he's relatively new to this.
The thing is, what I read as well is that in Doctor Strange, when he's going up against Dormammu, he's going, he's repeating it and repeating it.
Yeah.
So apparently he's done it so many times that he learns different stuff. So that's kind of, because I think in this film, Doctor Strange is my man. He's the man.
Yeah, no, he's the character. He was definitely
he's my favorite character.
He's a lot better in this than he was in Doctor Strange. He seemed a bit more seasoned. He was seasoned.
He's seasoned. But yeah, so just carrying on from that, it's like he doesn't use the Time Stone all the time because you know. But yeah, I did like the way that he did use it later on in the film.
Oh, that was sick.
Yeah, that was
how many thousand times? How many times?
14 million.
That's it. Yeah. It's like, how many times did we win? One.
14,605,000.
Yeah.
True.
Damn, Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. What about Pepper Potts and Tony Stark?
I liked that they got back together, obviously, and that they had grown to a point where he wanted to, marry her, and like it's good character development, especially for Tony Stark. Marvel's billionaire playboy, alcoholic.
Yeah. But when he was like, oh, we should have a baby, and he said he dreamt that she was pregnant, and then he said the name, and I said the name of his cousin or some shit, like
it's one of his cousins. Yeah, it was what was his name?
Morgan.
That's it, yeah.
Although in the film they said it was it her eccentric uncle? He said.
Yeah.
It was someone's eccentric uncle. I'm sure he said that.
Yeah.
95% sure that's what he said.
Yeah. That was his cousin. And that kind of they tried that with they tried that again, man, because they did that with Hawkeye in Ultron, Age of Ultron, where they kind of put a few hints out, like even when he's on the donut spaceship. And she's calling him. She's saying, "Come back, come back." They try to throw that little thing where he's like, "Oh, he's dead, man. He's definitely not coming back."
Yeah.
And then, bam,
Yeah. No, but their little interaction was good. Like, I liked how she introduced his new chess piece. It was like, so this, and he was like, "No, this is like Nanite's thing," and I was like, "Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, this is fun." You know what I mean? And then when was it? My man walked in, and he was just like, "Hello." It's just like Bruce.
Yeah.
Every time he came, someone was like, "Thanos is coming." He's like, "Who the fuck is that?"
One thing I loved was, now we know that Doctor Strange wasn't one of my favorite movies. I enjoyed it for what it was, and I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if it was like the first movie. But obviously, I know what.
Yeah.
But when Doctor Strange, because they were very similar characters, pretty much arrogant, best at what they do, accidents or whatever. Then they, so when they met, and the banter between these exact duplicates was so sick.
Yeah,
you know what? They're not really the same though. I think that's
exactly. I just mean in terms of the Marvel, in terms of the movies were very similar to me.
I think with this, it kind of made you realize the separation with them, because Tony Stark is more of a Joker kind of.
Oh no, definitely
sarcastic. But when these two are interacting with each other, you can see that they're both their very own person.
Yeah,
I'm stubborn, but I think you can definitely tell the difference between they're definitely different.
I just really enjoyed the banter between the two of them. It was really good to see. And
it was like highly intellectual. I'm the master of my own. Like ethos kind of thing. So you obviously Doctor Strange is like, I am the wizard. Like, you know what I mean? I am. You know what I mean?
Love that whole.
Just like, well, I am the tech guy. Like,
I love that whole science meets, you know, the mystics as well. It's so cool. They just couldn't be further apart.
Is this your ward?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man. No, it was too good.
It was brilliant. Yeah. No, it was really good. It was good.
Yeah. And Wong was pretty good in it as well, man.
Yeah, I'm glad he had more. I'm glad he
had his little
as the rest of them basically. He was there dominating, helping out with Doctor Strange and Spidey, and he showed up. He showed up real good.
He showed up real good. Chopped off my man's arm.
Yeah.
That was so like, yo, like the house is left unattended. You know what I mean? Man's got a
he dust off, boy.
Walk bubble thing. And later, innit?
That was the end of him. We didn't see him again after that, did we? That was it for Wong.
That was a good introduction when Ebony Maw, bloody hell, he was sick when he came in, man. He was pretty dope. Like his whole, you should be grateful. You should be thankful that
coming to cleanse you.
And just his whole personality, not his personality, but his whole mantra kind of thing was just kind of nuts. And him against Doctor Strange, that was a bit crazy.
Yeah,
really enjoyed that.
Can I give it up? Sorry, I love Doctor Strange and my man, but can we just give it up to Doctor Strange's cape? For whole sake.
For real.
Can we give cape appreciation, please? Because doing a lot for my life when I was watching.
And the way that Spider-Man's like, hey, we haven't met. And the cape just like,
Speaking of introductions, I love it where he goes, Spider-Man again. He's like, so we've never really formally met. He's like, I'm Doctor Strange. Oh, we're using our fake names? Well, I'm Spider-Man.
That's it.
Oh man, the movie was true.
So Stills 56, my cousin, he's saying that he thought the film was good, but it felt like it was kind of rushed and story chucked in here and there. It kind of feels as though it's a Kill Bill 2.
Not Kill Bill 2.
Yeah, like we said earlier, it's like you don't have to be introduced to anyone. So let's get down to it. You should know everyone. You should know what's going on.
If you saw the other movies, you pretty much. I would be really irritated if they were trying to introduce us to all the characters. We know Guardians of the Galaxy had 2 movies. Iron Man had 3. Captain America had 3. This is the third Avengers movie. They've all pretty much have 2 to 3 movies at this point. We don't have introductions to anybody.
But I think as well for us as well, it's just like this is how we kind of wanted the comic book movies to begin. Because, you know what I mean? We know Wagwan. We know who these people are. The introductions for everybody else. So having this film where it's just like, boom, cool, I've killed 2 people in the first 5 minutes. And I've fucking knocked out someone like... I mean, okay, cool, this is page 1. You know what I mean?
If you didn't know who Loki was, he kind of told you before he died.
You know? And it doesn't matter. You know why? Because he's dead.
So, I think the other thing I was saying as well to your cousin is that because he said there were like a lot of unanswered questions. I was saying the questions will get answered. We have to remember that these movies were pretty much shot back to back. This was originally going to be called Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Whatever questions you may have, guaranteed they will be answered in the next movie. So
definitely.
You really have to take this movie for exactly what it is. I don't see any fault unless your knowledge isn't that good on the movies or to some people the comics. I think, but if you got the knowledge, I think this movie's on point, like totally on point.
But this movie is like a merger of Thanos' quest and
it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It is basically that. Although, all right. So one thing I didn't really like, and actually I didn't even when I finished watching it the first time, I was like, shit, we didn't even see that. But one thing I didn't like was that they didn't show what happened at Nova Prime. where he got a Power Stone. I would have liked to have seen that. But saying that, I think maybe they might be doing I don't know, because I don't think they would have done a Nova film by then. So we were
told about that. Yeah.
They only said, and another thing as well that I heard was like if the Guardians got the distress call for the as Guardians, why didn't they get the distress call for the Nova?
That's true.
They all seem surprised. That's a bit of a plot hole there, I think.
But it's a nice one because it's like, obviously it's like
how close.
His high intelligence is what strikes first, and then it's like his brute force and anything. So to think that maybe he outsmarted Nova.
Xandar, sorry.
He might have outsmarted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, that's fun. That would be nice in a flashback. I can wait for a flashback because they were going anyway.
I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know how good their reception is on the Guardian ship, but like, I don't know how far out they were to the Nova Corps that they maybe didn't receive that. Maybe they didn't receive that message, but they were probably close enough. to Guardians, they're like, oh, I'm getting signal here. You gotta kind of just piece these things together yourself. You can't always think, they didn't do that. You just gotta have. They didn't have. They're in space. Remember,
went straight to voicemail.
Yeah, how good is their coverage in space? You're thinking,
true. Well, no, that's one thing that is kind of like it's a bit annoying. Like not. I would have liked to see that as well. I would have liked to see him take apart Xandar.
I think pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think this movie had what it needed, to be honest. And in any movie, sometimes not everything needs to be shown. It was a long movie. It was a long movie.
And it didn't feel that long either. Even the second time I watched it, it didn't feel like it was a long film.
We were in there.
There was a lot
2, didn't get out till 5. Something like that.
Yeah,
5? Yeah, I didn't get out till 5. That was a long ass movie.
Also, I like the way, like, because it kind of did. It was Thanos' movie, pretty much.
Which is what we were hoping for.
And
it gave us motivation. It gave us heart, understanding.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of person you are, maybe a little bit of compassion.
I'm a Thanos fan anyway, but I was just like, this is my gut. Like, I was just like,
he's a charming, charismatic dude.
He's the perfect villain, and he wasn't like.
He's a bit different. He's a lot different from the comics. Sorry to interrupt.
He is. But I think in this version, it's that thing of you can tell he knows he's going to come to the end of being able to complete what he needs to complete.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's that. I'm zen right now, because obviously, in the comics, he's like anybody who stands in my way is getting dealt with. He dealt with a lot of people in this. He dealt with them well, but in this, and I think in this film, he was just like, I'm ready to do what I need to do, get that finished, and then move on to whatever I have to do next, which is even more exciting. Yeah, go on.
Did you buy the story then? Did you buy his motivation then? Did you buy his motive? Did you buy, his plan?
I felt there was something deeper. Like for me, I felt like this is something he can do, and that he has to do, but not for himself. If that makes any sense.
Do you think it was a right thing to do? Could you understand where he's coming from, and do you
see? This is another Killmonger thing.
It's like exactly. I was just about to say that. Is it Killmonger? Because I would actually say Iron Man just passing by there. I would actually say Thanos' plan was better than Killmonger. Not plan, but his reasons is better than Killmonger's.
I mean, both of them were like they had the right ethos. You know what I mean? But it's just it's one of those things. Like Killmonger's like, I'm going to replenish and empower people within my community who feel like who have no place. Like they have no place. Thanos is like,
and he also wanted to go to war with people that didn't have anything. Well, not really have, although they are kind of, you know, feeding off what happened before. But he's killing people. He wants to kill people who, you know.
Yeah. I feel like Thanos, obviously, he's past that point, even though he people. But he's one of those that's like, you've got to think of like, man wants to be like, balance the entire universe, not the galaxy.
I was going to say their motivations, their arguments are two different. So
they are,
So like Killmonger is like you said, like he wants to empower his people and go to war. All right, cool. But Thanos is like, the universe is dying, too many people, overpopulated. Let me clear it out a bit.
You know
what I mean? I'm gonna have a bit of a garage sale. get rid of the mess.
And he did say it's random. It doesn't matter if you're poor, rich, anything.
Yeah, exactly. He did. He did
random.
say that. It was random. It's like he doesn't care about your status. Or your race or your species. He's just gonna wipe you out and, you know, thin the herd a bit.
And so in that sense, I think that's better than, you know, obviously we're doing this is the MCU. This isn't comics in a sense, you know, there has to be a reasonable reason to do things. So I think this reason is better than him being infatuated by death in itself. And actually, if they did do a, I don't know if you've read, I can't remember what it was. It's basically Thanos comic, and it just shows how he grew up, when he was born, how he grew up when he was younger, and basically.
I need to read that one. I need to read that one.
Yeah, and basically, death was his friend, or like his friend, and
slightly raised him, and then he grew up to fall in love with her or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. I think if they did that introduction and did that actual story in the film, then I think that would be in a film in itself anyway, so that probably wouldn't be possible. But if they went that way, then maybe they could do that whole death thing. But doing it randomly,
out of nothing,
there's no understanding.
Can I go into that a little? Like, not into that, but I was thinking about Thanos as a character. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to hands down say that I'm not sure if I can watch another DC movie ever again.
Yeah, what? Damn. Okay. Wait a minute. We are recording, yeah.
We are recording.
Reason being, I don't know if you noticed, but like I let this marinate, like I really did. I don't know if you noticed, but Justice League and Infinity War, and bear with me, I'm going somewhere with this, were very similar movies to a degree. To a degree. And by that I mean, you had these larger than life beings come down to Earth looking for certain things. And so in Infinity War, you had Thanos, who we were just talking about how much character and charisma he had, and his reasonings coming to Earth and all these other planets looking for the Infinity Stones. And I felt his plight. I really felt for him. And then on the other hand, we had the Justice League movie, the first movie, by the way, like of them together, and so Thanos was like, had story and he was character driven. And then Thingy was like cliche 1980s superhero movie. I want the mother box. Give me the mother box or I'll destroy you. Well, we as a people are too old for that. We're done with that. It was so, and I don't mean like our age, but I just mean fans. We're too old for that. We've seen those stories that are just Saturday morning where they go nowhere. We want depth, and Justice League did not give us that.
I think one thing as well that that the MCU has in its favor is it doesn't have to introduce you to characters like we said earlier. No. Like with Justice League, that was the Flash was in there, Cyborg was in there. Aquaman, these are all introductions, so half of the film already is being introduced to the characters, the heroes, so be it. But even the villains as well. Like, how long until Steppenwolf came in? Really, you know, he did a few things here and there, but he wasn't really introduced. There was nothing going. There was no.
You didn't feel for him at all.
You didn't feel for him with Infinity War. You got as soon as it starts, this distress call. Yeah. What's going on? Thanos. Who's Thanos? He's got his minions there. You know that he's after the gems. You know that Loki was working for him earlier. You know that Loki failed. You know that he's beating up people, and a lot of people were saying this as well. Like, oh, why didn't he do this? He had the power gem, he had the mind gem, he had all this and that. He introduced it at the first 7 minutes. Let him have his fun. He's fighting the Hulk. Let him have his fun.
Let him enjoy
it. Let him enjoy it. You know, he can do whatever. Like, even at the last bit, when in the trailers, when Captain America's got his hands and he's just struggling to keep it up, people were like, "Oh, he can bust him up. Why? How can he even get that close?" Exactly. That's what he's doing. But you know that from the first 7 minutes of the film, you know, and it's not something that's forced either. It's not like
it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's one of the things that I really loved about Thanos is that, again, he's so intelligent. So even though he knows he's got the mind gem, the ether, you know what I mean? He's got.
Oh man,
he's not even. He's hardly using them. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
But when he does use them,
that DC comment that Gamora made when Thor came on the ship, when she was touching him up. Did you?
Which bit? What's that?
You know, did you hear the DC comment that Gamora made when Thor was on the ship? Because he was unconscious.
What did she say? Yeah.
He was unconscious, and she was touching his arm. He's like, wow, he's almost like got godlike powers, like he's from Krypton. And I was like, don't be.
Is that what she said?
I don't think she didn't say that.
Krypton.
She could have said that.
No, there'll be memes all over the place if she said that.
Yeah, I don't think she said that. No, she could have said that.
Google it right now.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah,
did Gamora mention Krypton? That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure she didn't.
I'm sure she didn't. I would have. My ears just would have. Nah.
What I do like though.
Funny scene.
What I do like is how they, because Spider-Man did mention aliens, innit? He did say,
"Have you seen aliens?"
Yeah, and what I was thinking, how come he can mention that? Like, I know that they're in the process of buying Fox, because Aliens is a Fox property, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speculation.
But no. Sorry, what I was saying about finishing off about Thanos is that again, even when he had the half of the stones, he's more happy to use his intellect to be like, I'm gonna get under your skin and make you feel stupid, and then show you how stupid and insignificant you actually are to me.
Yeah.
What my purpose is outweighing anybody, even my own child. Can we talk about that thing?
Yeah. Let's get back to.
Okay.
All right. So. All right.
No.
I'm feeling like wait.
No, do the list.
No. What I'm thinking is, is we found out in Guardians, like him, Gamora, and what's her name? What's her name again?
What, the sister?
Yeah. Nebula. Sorry. So we found out that when they were growing up, they'd always have fights, and she'll get so basically there's that kind of child abuse there in a sense. Yeah. And then when they get to I forgot the name of the place, and bloody Red Skull, what the hell? When they get to the place where Red Skull
we'll get to the Red Skull. Just say what you're saying.
We'll get to the Red Skull.
Finish your thought.
When they got there, why? It's kind of like a catch. It's like, how can that be okay for him to be crying about him having to sacrifice her? Really? And it's like,
he loved her.
Again, if they're not going to use death, because remember he was in love with death. That's why in Thanos' quest, man went on a little rampage, and he was like, "I love you," and then she was like, "You've surpassed me, so I can't even talk to you."
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. And then goes and stands in front of the Infinity Well again. You know what I mean? But so he had to have loved something, and for him to be like, "Rah."
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I love Gamora. I took Gamora. I trained Gamora. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know,
true.
Yeah.
But he also abused her. You know, he's always...
but he abused her. Some people show love in the strangest of ways, and you have to remember that Thanos ain't people. So
yeah, he's slightly broken people. He's going through traumas. Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know what love is, but
also you gotta just remember that. Yeah, he abused her, but Nebula got the worst of it, and he obviously knew whatever he put the two of them through. He clearly knew. You can tell he clearly knew that Gamora could handle it.
Yeah,
Nebula was not his favorite, and it was made painfully clear.
Even when he took her back and he took her to the throne room thing, and she was like,
I hate this chair.
Yeah, and he sat the way he was up.
And those effects were really good, man. They spent a lot of time on Thanos, man, and it came through. I think definitely
a lot more than they did with Steppenwolf. Jeez.
We won't talk about that, but Josh Brolin, you did it. I'm sorry.
Cable handled his business.
Yeah, he did.
But he did the damn thing. Like when he sat down and she was like, I hated it. Yeah, he said, I hated that chair. And he sat down and he goes, I hated this room. And he goes, yeah, I know. You told me for like 50 years. Even little things like that, I was like,
But he looked hurt.
Yeah.
He looked hurt when he said that. When he's like, yeah, you told me, he looked hurt, like genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
So like you said, he's got to love somebody. And he loved it. What do you know what? If it was a thing where he was a lame character, like if he was a traditional lame ass,
I want to take over the world, and
then he gets to the Soul Stone. It's like, oh, you've got to sacrifice something you love, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he loves Gamora.
Yeah.
It was shown to us, even slightly.
True.
I even think slightly in the Guardians movies.
Yeah,
you can tell.
He does that. He said, I even heard that you alienated my favorite daughter.
Yeah.
And Nebula gives him that sly look like you.
It was there. So it works. I think I've got no faults with this movie. I think everything was done well. Everything works.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to talk about, guys?
You know the bit where he goes, because obviously he turns around and he's crying and she's like, oh, you've lost. And then he goes, tears, who are you crying? And then Red Skull's like, they're not for him. They're for you.
Yeah.
And he said to her, he goes, I sacrificed. What did he say? He goes, I sacrificed getting these stones or getting these gems the first time.
Yeah, for her. I sacrificed my destiny once before, but never again.
Yeah. So I'm like, because my dad was like, I was wondering what he meant by that, and I was like, maybe it's because he had to look after his kids.
Well, no, I think, in my opinion, was that he didn't do what he was supposed to do, and hence why his planet was messed up, because he did warn them about it. So I took it as, you know, he had the chance to actually save his planet, but he didn't. So yeah, he's a deep character, and I think he's one of the best. Well, yeah, he's one of the best villains.
He's the best villain.
Not in this order, but Loki, Thanos, and Killmonger. Done.
Yeah, true.
Just so you viewers know, if you don't know, okay, Heimdall, Loki, dead. Gamora, dash off a mountain, dead. Definitely not coming back.
Wait, okay.
Go on.
I was gonna say something. I want to talk about Star-Lord real quick, because apparently, so I saw this meme today. You know, in Guardians of the Galaxy where he's doing that.
Yeah.
And it was it said to all the Star-Lord haters. Apparently, his character's getting a lot of hate. Chris Pratt is being sent like BS about what happened. And I'm like,
I can't stand people like that.
Yeah, people are just. But the thing is, if you love something, like I would do it. If that was my boo, I would straight punch Thanos in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Damn the plan. Damn the plan. And I just think, oh damn, I lost my thought because I had it earlier now.
Why people are hating on him?
I just think he didn't do the right thing for the universe, but he did the right thing for him. If that made sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's always been like that. Exactly.
Yeah, he's the Maverick. He's the Maverick.
He's always been. He's always. Even when his mother died, he ran off. You know, he's always been that. When he was with the was it the Reavers? The Reavers. Or am I thinking of the X-Men?
I swear to
God, the Ravengers.
Ravengers. Oh my God! Yeah. The other day, just the other day, I called them the Reavers.
It's that bloody Hunt for Wolverine comic.
Oh man.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought now. Yeah, he's always been impulsive. Like he's always had that kind of, you know. It's random. It's well random. It was upsetting, and you could see it coming. Especially, you know, you could see it. That fight was sick as well, man. So
no, it was. Their plan worked.
The plan worked. It really worked.
The plan worked.
Yeah.
But the joke is
well done.
Like,
well done.
The way it's supposed to, because Doctor Strange was like, there was only one way we could win.
Yeah,
But like, even that part of losing.
Yeah. They had to. Yeah. But even like,
no, that was sick.
I think he
was like, Linda.
Yeah. I think. Sorry, going back to Star-Lord, I think he was sick because although he did take his time, and no matter what would have happened, Thanos always had the reality gem. So whether he did it straight away or the time that he actually did it, he was, even Thanos was like, I like this one, because when he went to shoot her. And then the bubbles, and Thanos loves bubbles for some reason.
Just give 10 points to the bubbles, please.
Yeah, you see the bubbles like 3-4 times, man.
Yeah,
but I was like, yes, bring back the bubbles.
Yeah, but yeah, he's at that time I thought, he's a sick character, because normally they wouldn't do that. In certain films they would have just been like, take her kind of thing, or he would never have shot her, but. So
it's true. I actually rated them. I rated them for that scene as well, because I actually thought that they were going to go cliche and him just put the gun down.
He
was willing to sacrifice.
He was going to do it.
He was willing to.
And another thing as well is a bit of pressure meeting the dad for the first time. So.
Yeah, for real. He was cussing him though. He was cussing him though.
Had a little bit of respect. He was like, "Oh, I like this one."
What was he said? That scrotum sack you got on your chin. Oh man. No, Star-Lord was cool. Again, I don't know what's wrong with fans out there that just take these things way too seriously. And regardless if you fans out there, regardless if Star-Lord did what he did, first of all, Chris Pratt didn't do it. He's an actor.
Exactly. And he's a good actor.
Regardless if Star-Lord did it or not, they still would have lost.
There you go.
Get over it.
Exactly.
It was
Thanos, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they were gonna lose. They were gonna lose.
Yeah. So, what do you think about? Sorry. Where is it? Sean's saying that obviously, Gamora isn't dead. We could go back to that. I don't think she's dead, but we'll go back to that in a minute. Later on, once we go through the go through a bit more closer to what happens at the end.
It's dead, fam.
We can go back to the Red Skull.
Yeah, so the Red Skull. What the hell?
Right. So we fans, we've been talking about this for years. He had the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He then proceeded to use the Tesseract, and the Tesseract killed him by the looks of it. But we know, wait, let me hang on a second, let me finish. But we know that the Tesseract don't kill, that we knew that it was going to send him off somewhere else, because that's how the comics roll. And I just loved how, now fair enough, the actor said that he didn't want to do it again, but they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to fake us out, and they faked us out good. Faked us out good. And to have him show up now after all this time was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
His character, because at first I saw the cloak, and
I thought it was.
No, I didn't think it was death. There was the Thanos. You know, the Thanos book I was telling you guys about a few weeks ago.
The one that I pre-ordered, by the way.
Yeah. But I think you pre-ordered the later volumes. I don't know which ones you did. But in that comic, there is a bit where Thanos is sick, and he needs to go to this. It's kind of like, it's the same kind of thing where he's on a mountain, but it's like a well, and you got to go down the well, and basically you've got to kind of it's like what Red Skull say. You got to kind of you don't lose something that you love, but you kind of find yourself. And if you're not yourself, you get stuck. And then you see on the mountain, there's loads of different people stuck inside the walls and that you failed. But it's pretty much something similar like the Source Wall, where you got different characters stuck in there. And but yeah, it seemed like he was one of those characters, and that whole setting was very similar. Yeah. But then obviously when he came down, at first you think it's maybe like the personification of death, but then you realize it's the Red Skull.
It was the Red Skull, and Cap will never.
I liked it. It was a nice surprise, because it was like, oh, like you said, it was a good fake. It was like, oh, is that death? No, who the. Oh, hi.
Red Skull.
How are you? You okay?
Yeah. Where have you been, man? Long time no see.
He's been
like. That's right. Work out for you. Not too well. Not too well.
Different.
Captain America, the first Avenger, was a lot in terms of movie years. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
And
in the 10 years ago.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, in the MCU timeline, it was longer than that. It was 7 years. So that was just a nice little something, Yeah.
It was a nice little thing.
Nice to see.
And Gamora got dashed off the mountain. She's dead. Okay, let's move on.
She's not dead.
She's hella dead.
Adam Warlock is going to replace her. I think she'll be back.
She's coming back. She's coming back.
She's coming back. She's playing. And the thing is, let's get into this. We can theorize on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he had to sacrifice her. Fair enough. He threw her off a mountain. So she's quite strong.
No, she's dead in that way. But
no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying he made his sacrifice, but does she have to be dead? Is what I'm saying.
No.
Like, bend the rules a little bit is what I'm saying.
she's in Soul World.
The Soul Stone.
She's in Soul World.
Got the stone.
Yeah, so
he wouldn't have got the stone if she's not dead.
Yeah. I think
they can bring back the people who deteriorated through.
Oh, we know they're coming back.
Yeah, they're definitely coming back.
They can come back.
No, they are coming back.
Heimdall, Loki, Gamora, Vision.
Vision.
No. Vision is rebooting. Vision is rebooting.
Yeah, he's rebooting.
Let's go to Vision real quick. They said that he
finish off Gamora, blood.
Gamora, she'll be back. So Vision,
she's dead, fam. She ain't coming back.
I'm straight willing to bet money that she'll be back.
How
much you got?
I mean, I got like £5.
I'll bet my paycheck that she'll be back. Because I know she'll be back. What was I gonna say? Sorry, Vision. So they said that he's got Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, thinking about the old TV show, Bruce Banner and Ultron in his and Jarvis, in his personality and all his little computerizations and blah blah blah. Also, I found out recently that there was basically they were going to take out the Infinity Stone, and we knew he could survive. He was going to survive without the Infinity Stone. He was going to survive.
Because was doing a little work, but she didn't finish.
Yeah, so if they pulled that out, they would have destroyed the stone, and he would still be there. Yeah. He died. Thanos brought him back, and all he did was take out the stone.
That was dark, man.
I love that he just brought him back.
Twice.
Yeah, I love that. Brought him back to kill. I was talking about that today. Love that they brought him back to kill him.
Yeah.
By the way, just so we know, just so you guys know, didn't give two shits about Vision. He was like my least favorite character in this whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. So when he
it was kind of sad because
when they tossed him aside, I was like, I don't know.
No, I mean, like, it was sad for Vision because again, he's so new, and it's just like.
But he's coming back.
He'll be back. Let me get back.
No, he's not coming back. He's dead. Like, but
I was gonna
get to see like him do hella good Vision stuff with Doctor Strange,
and you will get to see that soon.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say, I found out recently that the Vision, there was a point in the comics where he was actually
grayed out. So basically, in the comics, he's got he was a mix. Like in this, he had a mix of different personalities. I think it was what's his name? The first Human Torch.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah. So and someone else.
Cap.
Yeah. So he had their personality in them. Then later on in the comics, he got messed up. I think he died actually, and then he came back. But when he came back, he was more android and less like human-like, like how he is. And also his color changed to the color, not to the color that he changed in this, but he was still kind of grayed out.
I think he's rebooting right now.
And you can see in his eyes just changed as well. So I think what's going to happen is he's going to come back, and Wanda's going to come back, obviously, but he's going to be like stone cold. Like he's not going to remember. He might remember, but he won't feel anything.
Yeah,
okay.
That's
how I think it.
I remember that he's really. Them man are dead in it. Don't bring them back. The dead.
No. I think you got to think about. Obviously, we've read the comics and we kind of know what's happened. We're using assumptions, but in the comics, Gamora when she died in the comics, her part of herself went into the soul world, into the soul stone, because the stone itself has got like a whole world in it. So I think because you have to sacrifice a soul for a soul. That soul where's that soul going? It's got to go to this. It's got to transfer. So I think the soul gem is that transference. So her soul lives inside the soul gem. And then, and I think that's why, right at the end as well, that's why when he snapped his finger, and you saw the younger version of her. She said, "Do it." Yeah. I think that's him because he's not got a glove on his hand when he sees her as well. So I think he's actually inside.
So okay, her soul is alive, but Gamora's body is dead. That bitch is dead. She's dead. She got dashed off a mountain.
You know what? I'm gonna go into the. May as well just go into the depths as we're talking about this, because Isha seems so adamant that these people ain't coming back. So what I was saying to you, Rich, before the podcast started, is that my brother made a very, very good point. Is that only the original Avengers, only the original Avengers survived.
Yeah.
And those are the ones whose contracts who are up.
Yeah.
Everyone else basically has franchises just starting out. So those are the ones that died. I think that they'll be brought back, but the original Avengers will assemble one last time and probably sacrifice themselves so that the new generation can take over. That's what I think will happen.
I don't know. I don't know if that would happen. I was up when I first saw it. That was the only thing that I didn't like coming straight out of the cinema. I was like, why did they kill the people that we know they're gonna get films? After I thought that was a disappointment, but then after watching it again and thinking about it, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, before everyone would have thought that Captain America or Iron Man, even when Iron Man got stabbed.
I was gonna say we need to go into that.
Yeah.
Finish your thought.
Yeah. When all that happened, I was like, actually, yeah, that is a weird thing, and it's a good thing because people are assuming that people are dying. They're not thinking about Black Panther or Spider-Man or Doctor Strange dying. You know, these guys they've only just had their film, so no one's expecting them to die. And it's exactly like the reason why people are saying it's kind of like Empire Strikes Back. Like it's heartbreaking in the sense that one character's gone and you know they're coming back. Like Solo, he was in the Carbonite. And he was gone. Everyone thought they lost, and then the next episode, you know, it's all new.
Yeah.
So I kind of like what they did now with that.
I actually like those fake outs. Like so everyone thinking that they were gonna die. Captain America dying. Chris Evans said something online. I don't know what he said, but it had people riled up. Sorry guys, excuse me. People thinking that Iron Man was going to die, and then we actually see that. Excuse me, hiccups. See that scene. But and then there was the whole thing of, like, say for example, just the Infinity Stones, and they were in certain places that spelt Thanos, and I love that everything that the fans thought.
Yeah,
Kevin Feige's like, different. No,
nah, mate,
we're not doing that.
Although Mark Ruffalo did bloody spoil it a year ago, man.
What did he say?
Okay,
he was like, him and Don Cheadle was having an interview. And he's like, oh man, you guys are gonna love it. Like everybody dies. And Cheadle's like, dude. Oh,
see, this is why I
wasn't supposed to say that.
No.
Yeah, he pretty much spoiled it, but everyone thought he was bloody kidding anyway. But
yeah, he probably knew what he was doing.
Quick question.
Yeah, go.
Quick question. Thanos made a remark. I don't know. You're probably going to touch on this anyway. Thanos made a remark to Tony Stark about
knowing him.
Yeah.
Are we saying that Thanos was Ultron?
No, because how could he be Ultron?
There was no connection.
There was no connection.
I only say that because in Thanos Quest, like there was a part where he faked out an opponent by using a machine. Like it was a machine of himself. But, in Thanos Quest. Yeah. And he did that kind of thing. So
his first appearance, he was a machine, I think.
Yeah. But just like I was thinking to myself, because again, it was like the whole Loki thing where Loki tried to come down and do whatever, and then that failed. And then I'm thinking maybe he was like, oh, okay, well, I need to find out where these stuff are first. So it's like he contacted the Collector. He did this, he did that. You know what I mean? And then maybe it's just one of those times where he used Ultron to find out where the Mind Stone was, whatever.
Yeah, but I think he does have the Mind. I think he's because at that, does he have the Mind Stone at that time? I think he did.
Wait, the Mind Stone's the one that
right? Vision's got it. Yeah,
no, he wouldn't have had it. My theory was, I don't know how he did it, but my theory was the Vision that Tony Stark had in Age of Ultron.
Wait, can we just have 5 seconds of that? That was perfect.
The premonition.
You got the puns today, man.
Yeah, I'm good with them words, man. I should have been a rapper. The premonition that Tony Stark had in Age of Ultron, I don't think Black Widow did that. I think she played a small part as to why he had that premonition.
Kind of activated,
I think that was all Thanos. Because he said he's been tormented, and obviously it might have had something to do with because
he said we're both cursed with knowledge. That's
and we have to remember Tony Stark said, I've been cursed with these visions since since the aliens first came down. Remember, he was the one that flew the rocket up into the first.
So that could be where Thanos found out about him.
Thanos could have had knowledge of him from then, and then from then on, Tony Stark was having these visions. But we don't see it until Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so what if he's had these, like, he's kind of infiltrating Stark, like, mentally, and then Two T's like, let me see if I can try and take over one of his machines so I can kind of wreak havoc. Because if you look at it, the way that
I see where you're going with it now. Okay.
You see the way Ultron wanted to destroy Earth.
Yeah.
He was like, I wanted to you know what I mean? I wanted
cleanse
to
the Earth.
You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And he kind of went about it the same way that he that Loki kind of obviously wanted to take over Earth in that way, but he was thinking too small. And then when he was like, oh, I found, I mean, he was like the last robot, and he was talking to Vision, and it's just like, okay, it's one of those ones where it's just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna die, but now I know where you are. You know what I mean? And it was just like, okay, he killed him, and it was just like, all right, cool, done. You know what I mean? So now it was just like, okay, well, now I have to come and get them myself because I know where they all are. You know what I mean? So
I see it's a good theory, but I don't think that's where
Thanos.
I don't think that's where they were going with it. Where it actually makes theoretical sense. A lot of theories do. If you connect the dots like that. Arc film theorists. No. Yeah. Good theory though.
Yeah. I personally, I just think that he just knows who to look out for. I think he knows who he knows more about the universe than most people does. Yeah. I think that's got something to do with it. I don't know. I'm assuming as well.
Do you know what I want to say about?
Maybe we'll find out.
Do you know what I want to comment on? But after say this, we can go into Iron Man and then we can go into Thor. But real quick,
all right.
I'm curious. No, go what?
No, I was gonna say, can we talk about a bit of Doctor Strange after?
Oh, we could. Do you know? Ooh, yeah, I just wanted to say this real quick.
Good.
I am very curious because when I went, I went with my boo, and in the cinema it's between 20 to 30-odd-year-olds, and I think I saw some old people at the front, probably the ones that have been watching reading Marvel since its inception.
Yeah.
But and I was watching this, and I was like, how are children going to take this movie? Like, think about all the
some kids cried at the end because.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Think about the movies we grew up with. Villain comes, superhero comes, fights the villain, loses, goes back for round 2 and wins. That's pretty much the formula for the majority of the superhero movies out there.
Yeah.
And this will be the first time that you will go to a superhero movie and your heroes die.
Yeah.
Even if they don't die, the battle was lost. The battle was straight lost.
Yeah.
And really interesting. I mean, I'm gonna go take my son to see this. I'm actually a bit nervous to see his reaction, but just imagine what that must be like for a 10-year-old.
It's be traumatized.
All my superheroes, yay!
But I mean, we had that with Optimus Prime back in the 80s.
Oh, that was horrible. I remember that. That was so horrible.
Every kid has it.
Yeah.
We had who died in Star Wars? Wow. Everybody died. I mean, like back in the days, like 70s, who died back then? Like,
well, you get what I mean. Fair enough. We did have that with Transformers, but let's take Transformers. I mean, actually, when you say that, a lot of the heroes did die in Transformers. It wasn't just Optimus Prime.
They got that to cleanse that.
It was literally the original characters, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ben Kenobi died. Yeah, in Star Wars.
But Ben Kenobi, even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Fucking Splinter died. It's like, oh,
what?
Did he? When? No, he got bust up. What in the film?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
He got bang up. He got bang up. He got bang up hard though. That did affect me a bit. He did get bang up pretty bad.
But come on, for the most part, these movies, the villain comes, beats up the hero the first time, and then the second time round, the hero does the damn.
I think it humblizes you. It humblizes you to be like, Ross, sometimes you lose, you know.
Yeah,
sometimes you lose badly. You know what I mean? Sometimes you lose people.
I mean, if there is a superhero that has suffered many, many losses, it's probably Peter Parker.
Peter
Parker, Spider-Man. So
yeah, I mean that was kind of that was mad. It was people would say like, oh, how come he's taking so long to die? But I think that's the spider sense going on there.
I think he was just holding on.
No, I think he knew his spider sense must have been crazy because at first he said, "Oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel too good."
Oh yeah, that was
and then it took a while before he started to. It wasn't until he started laying down, then he started to disappear. That was sad though. He's a good actor.
Look at his face. He was like,
"I don't want to die."
I know, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm going." Like he like became like he was like he accepted it, and I was like, "Oh!" No, it was painful.
That's crazy.
Painful. Oh.
I like how Falcon and War Machine kind of have this kind of friendship.
Yeah.
And like when
they did Falcon dirty though.
Yeah,
man.
when Falcon died, you don't even know.
Yeah.
War Machine's like, yo, where you at? And he's
he just disappeared, boy.
He just.
And can I just say, fucking Bucky and Groot? I feel like
that little combo there, man.
We've been saving them for the last couple films, and then poof! I was like, really?
Groot, man. When Groot, do you know what? Groot's a hero, man.
He is.
Groot is a hero. He's
good, man. He is.
He's a hero. He just straight gave him his axe. Like that was all Groot. Oh man, he's a hero
as well. That was
Peter Dinklage.
His video game.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was a good character. He was amazing, even though he was a bitch of a teenager. Go on. Sorry.
Peter Dinklage. Sorry, I just need to go into this real quick. How sick was it that Peter Dinklage was in this movie? I didn't even know he was in the movie. You probably saw him in trailers or whatever.
No, he wasn't in the trailers.
And it was, and he was giant. He was sick. Yeah. He was a dwarf, but he was giant. That was so clever. I loved it.
Yeah, he was good. But he did sound a bit like Tyrion. He did have a bit of
Well, I was gonna say this man's voice commands your attention. Like he's got.
Yeah, it does.
Like I would love to see him do some voice acting because I just think
you were supposed to protect us.
Yeah. This is a great scene. Sorry,
as God was supposed to protect us.
Exactly.
No, I just
God is no more.
It's perfect to be in this movie. As in, like, I wish we saw him in like 4 movies earlier on.
Yeah.
James.
What was it? What was he goes? He goes, that star, it's gonna kill you.
It's like, well,
you're gonna.
Is that
it's gonna kill you? He goes, only if I die first.
Yes.
That's what it means.
His voice just commands your attention. It's so sick.
Ultimate 4 as well. He actually got the Ultimate 4 suit with the lightning bolts on his abdomen.
That was sick.
You know what I did like? I like the Maximum Spider. Did you notice that?
What for the pause?
Yeah.
For the pause, yeah.
That was the slangness that was Spider-Man's suit. I nearly flipped. Okay, there was a guy sitting 2 seats away from me. Don't know this man from Adam, yeah? Everybody, there was like a sprinkle of people there. And it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. When Spider-Man came out and his suit, and then like he flipped and the legs came out, me and him were like,
yeah.
That shit! Like, it was
that was dope.
It was so good. It was so good. Oh my days. It was beautiful. And then he left and we didn't get to see what else he could do. And I was upset.
Well, I love this suit, but I was going to say what you were saying about Maximum Spider. Now, for those of you that grew up playing Marvel versus Capcom. Or Marvel superheroes versus, what was it? I've forgotten the names now. Any of those Marvel / Street Fighter games, if you played those crossover games,
they were so good.
And Spider-Man had
that was so
Spider-Man had this attack called the Maximum Spider.
Yeah.
I think it was like, a Hadouken twice.
that whole scene was pretty much Marvel versus Capcom. You had teamwork.
Pretty much.
You had Maximum Spider. You had Doctor Strange. What was it called again? The bands of Sitarak. The quantum bands of Sitarak. You had the where he multiplied himself as well to try and confuse him. You even had Thanos' special move where he's throwing the moon, man. That
shards of the moon at fucking
that was dope, man.
Yeah,
that was hard.
Nice for those for the gamers out there.
Yeah. Was it the images of Icon? That's it. And he did that thing as well where he's just standing still. He's doing that thing and his arms just.
Yeah. That was hard. That was hard.
You wanted to talk about Doctor Strange, so what did you
that's what I loved about him.
Oh,
I just love the way that he's. I don't know. He's the master of the mystic arts now. It probably feels like that. Yeah, he took him on, and even with the stone as well, he was blocking them. And the way that Thanos, I think he threw a black hole or something, and he just reversed it with his shield, and he just turned into butterflies. It was just like instead of bubbles, it was butterflies instead.
No, that was hard. I don't know how. I want to know how they fare without Doctor Strange in the next movie.
That's what I'm.
Bring it back in it. They have to bring it back, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's gonna be.
They have to bring it back, but they're not. I think probably Wong is gonna probably take up the mantle, or be that surrogate. They're just gonna need to find new people, man. You got Carol Danvers that obviously coming.
Captain Marvel's on her way, yo.
Yeah,
she's on her way. Don't know what she's got to put that scroll down and just blitz to Earth.
All right, so what do you guys think is going to happen then? Obviously, I've heard that Ant-Man. Apparently, actually, someone in the chat was saying Ant-Man's been delayed because of the Olympics. Apparently,
who's Olympics?
Who's what? Olympics?
I think we've got an Olympics coming. Apparently.
What again?
I think so.
Getting in the way of our cinematic viewings.
I know. Tell me about it. Either way, we got Ant-Man coming, and I think that's going to take place before Infinity.
I literally think it's going to be slightly before, like the day or two before, the weekend.
Yeah, I want to be surprised.
I really think it's literally that tight knit. And then
also,
Ross starts disappearing. No, Hank Pym is an original Avenger.
Oh
Technically, he'll disappear, and they'll be like, "What the hell?"
Sorry, World Cup, not the Olympics.
Oh, the World Cup. Yeah, Olympics is next year.
Yeah.
That's even worse. I don't even like football.
Fuck. World Cup.
So Captain Marvel, that's based in the 1990s. So yeah, what do we all know at the end of Infinity? Obviously, if you stayed behind, and if you didn't, I don't know what you're doing.
Do you know? When you guys were watching the film, did anybody get up?
Yeah, people get up all the time, man.
Do you know what? Every time I go to the cinema to watch a Marvel movie, people get up, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" This was the first time that everybody was not only silent, completely silent in the film, because everybody was just so tense. You could tell the tension was in the air. But not only that, especially because the movie ended so abruptly, nobody got up.
No one got up.
Everybody waited. Everybody waited until the end. Everybody did. Nobody got up. And it wasn't until that scene with Samuel Jackson, people were like, "What the fuck?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody stayed
what
still.
the?
Oh man. I was proud of everybody. I was proud of my cinema group.
Yeah.
We need more of that cinema. We need more of that MCU etiquette in the cinema. Sit down. Wait till it's over.
Oh my god.
All right. So Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's not think about what the Captain Marvel movie will more likely be, but let's see why do you think where's she been, first of all? Why wasn't she there at the Battle of New York? And how is she gonna come back, and how is she gonna kind of be integrated in Avengers 4? And also, what's the title of Avengers 4 as well?
Okay. I think that she is with Sword.
Yeah.
The sister company, was it the sister company of Shield? So I think she's with Sword, and she's out there doing Space Avengers, not like Guardians of the Galaxy, but like she's off being a space cop, basically, the Green Lantern. And obviously Nick Fury's obviously paged her, so then that's her cue to come back because she's needed on Earth. What you made a face.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think I think you're right. I think she's possibly with Sword, but I think what they've done is she's gone to the Kree homeworld, possibly as well. That's what I think.
Yeah, because
she's gone there.
Did she know what was going on? If she's in space, why would she know what was going on?
But I think I think Nick Fury knows about her. Obviously, he's in the
he's in the movie. Yeah.
So I think what's happened is she's obviously left something for him She's left something for him to contact her if anything happens. I think what he's tried to do, the reason why she wasn't in New York, was he's from Iron Man. He's tried to develop. Instead of calling her back, he's trying to develop his own team.
Because even it kind of makes sense with what he said. It's like, did you think you were the only superhero? Remember, who did he say that to?
He said that to Iron Man.
He said that to Iron Man. Like, do you think you were the only superhero?
that line is only for Iron Man. Like,
yeah. So he could be thinking, I've met others before you.
Yeah. And even stuff with Ant-Man as well, with Hank Pym. He was doing stuff beforehand. Goliath as well.
You know that Nick Fury knows about Ant-Man and Goliath. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think she, like you said, I think she's with Sword, or she is Sword, and she's gone back to the Kree homeworld. And I think I wanted to say that I wish Nova had something to do with it as well, but
Nova's dead.
Do you know what I want to see? Do you know what I really want to see? I want to see her being at either going to the Kree homeworld or going to Nova, and while
Nova.
The end credit scene will be Thanos going to Xandar, or even Xandar getting destroyed by Thanos.
Yeah.
And you see Captain Marvel head to Xandar and find Nova, and then as she's picking up Richard Rider, or I don't know, maybe Richard Rider would be the perfect one. She's picking him up, and then she suddenly gets and you see the shield on her thing, and then bam, that leads on to
and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Or even Nova disappears in front of her.
Yeah.
I don't know Nova too well, but I know there's one that's current, and his dad used to be Nova, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I was thinking, what if the one who was the dad was part of the Nova Corps? And Thanos bodies him. And then he's like, all of them, because he got the Infinity Stone. And then his son is like, takes up the mantle that way. So I'm saying, hey, your dad used to be Nova, right? Hey, you should do it.
Yeah. I think Nova's been around for a while, but he wasn't big until I think it was Annihilation and Thanos Imperative. That's when he became pretty big.
Okay.
But that was when I think Annihilus was coming in from a different realm or his dimension coming into ours.
Exciting.
Yeah, he's a dope character. But yeah, I don't know if they can bring in too powerful, because he's powerful in he's Captain Marvel, so I don't know if they can bring in, and even with Warlock I always say Warlock. Adam Warlock, yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
Those are three.
I don't think he'll be in the next Avengers movie.
I think he'll be in Guardians.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be in the next Avengers movie. It would just be so. When I was watching, I was like, it'll be so out of context.
Yeah.
To put him in this, like, there's no point.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah. Yeah.
So, how do you think they're gonna come back then? How do you think? Because Thanos is on the beach or by his
by the sunset. Did you notice that obviously when he clicked his fingers and when he that line that he said to Thor killed me, by the way, he was just like,
oh yeah, that was
next
sick.
time aim for the head, and he went,
he's like,
yeah.
And then, you should have gone for the head.
But Thor did his thing, by the way. Like, I was so proud of him. He went out there, he got himself a new axe, and he swore
a rabbit. That's
he swore vengeance to he swore like he would have done it. Do you know what I mean?
If he went for the head.
Obviously, he doesn't know Thanos' anatomy, but he did do it though. I love when he showed up. He comes down, and then the Hulk is like, "Oh, you're already screwed now." Yeah, because even I was thinking like, you don't know. God of Thunder showed up. He's just gonna.
Yeah, he was really good.
You were getting.
That was a good entrance.
Yeah, I was so proud of him.
No, it was.
Do you think the hammer's a bit overpowered now?
You think what?
The Stormbreaker is a bit overpowered.
Yeah, but so he's a god.
Yeah, okay.
Is Billy Goat, like, Ray Goat coming?
I just think,
we need to see the goat. Actually,
we haven't seen the goat. He mentioned the goat in Ragnarok, didn't he?
He did.
I swear he mentioned the goat.
There was a frame of his face in Ragnarok.
Yeah, it was mentioned. I'm sure.
Yeah, and Bay Ray Bill. Yeah.
Bay Ray Bill. Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Do I think it's overpowered? I don't think his thing is overpowered, and he still didn't beat Thanos. So I feel like he and Hulk have always been, as the two strongest of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So he's probably gone 10% stronger to match the Hulk a bit, and the Hulk is only going to get stronger. You know, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So I don't feel like there needs to be a cap on how strong.
Yeah. It was,
and
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I was just reading in the chat when Thanos clicked his finger, the gauntlet was fried.
I did say that. Did you not hear? I literally just said that. I said
sorry.
I literally just said that.
Like, the gauntlet couldn't take the Infinity Stone. So even because you were saying when he was sitting by the sunset watching like his work come to pass, whatever. His arm was fucked up on the other side, kind of thing. But at this point, I don't know whether it. I saw somewhere where maybe he's gonna. For me, I think he's gonna keep the gauntlet because why wouldn't you? Or maybe he's gonna try to make another one, or he might scatter the gems. But
they've got the cast. They've got the cast for the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So Dinklage character has still got the cast, so they can make another gauntlet. But were the stones actually in the gauntlet when?
Yeah, he put all of them in. He put all of them in, and then he.
Yeah.
No, I mean after.
Yeah,
when it was fried up, they were still on there.
I'm sure they were still on there.
Yeah. They were still on there. So it was just like, yeah, oof. Because even when that part, because I thought it was really interesting because when he went to see Gamora at the end in the spirit world, and she was like, "Did you do it?" And he was like, "Yes." He goes, "What did it cost you?" And he was like, "Everything." So I'm like, maybe it cost a part of himself, because when he was sitting down, I was like, right, he proper got like he got fucked up, like and maybe that's the only thing again that can kill him. Thanos is Thanos. You know what I mean? No one else can. No one's bodying this man. No one can. No one should. No one will. No.
So how are they gonna get the stones back and the gauntlet back? How is that gonna happen?
That's Silver Surfer's gonna come, and he needs to bring some people with him.
Do you know what? So you guys were gonna talk about something that I didn't want to know about, because I thought it was gonna suggest that Silver Surfer was gonna be in this movie. So what was it that you lot were gonna say? It was like something was hinted in the trailer or something.
No, there was just rumors about there was a website that had casts names and people, when they have the whole cast list.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was on there cast as a Silver Surfer.
But they have to bring Silver Surfer in, because I feel like in terms of
they won't do that yet. They won't do it yet. They won't do it because the deal hasn't gone through yet either. So
also, it'll be like bringing in Adam Warlock again. It's just.
I think Warlock is definitely a Guardians thing. Yeah.
I just don't think. I think maybe at the end of the second movie, as the post-credit scene, then they could bring in
maybe in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they might hint on it like they usually do on hinting things, and then he pops up somewhere. I'm just
not going into any of the TV shows. Having said that, my friend made a very good point today. So she was like, "What happened to Jessica Jones?" I was like, "What?" Well, I was like, "Well," and I was like, "Well, I'd imagine that while this is happening, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and
it's kind of what they do in the comics as well. Whereas like you got one storyline happening. It's like with Thor, Jane Foster. She's dead now, but she's also in the Avengers comics at the moment. But
I was just gonna say that I'd imagine that they're just in New York, because remember, there's quite a lot happening in New York. They're just around saving people from rubble and whatever else. But then she was like, "But is she one of the ones that died?" And I was like, "Huh, I didn't think about that."
Yeah,
I never even thought that. Who from the TV shows are disappearing?
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think we'll ever find out.
Yeah, I don't think we will. I don't think we will, but it would be nice if they alluded to it.
I think after Avengers 4, then you'll get a mention in it. Yeah. Oh, remember if everyone keeps their memories when people do come back and everyone.
See, that might be the way of what happens. Having the TV shows not even mention it.
Which they kind of did with what was it? It was a tie-in that they did recently when I can't remember now. But when when Captain America was a Hydra agent.
Oh, Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Secret.
It was Secret something.
Secret Invasion. Secret. I've got it. Hang on a second.
I remember. It's at the tip of my tongue.
Dun, 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 dun.
Anyways, so basically what happened is pretty much a lot of people died, and Secret Empire, that's it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people died. A lot of cities got effed over. A lot of people came back, but everyone kept their memories. So even though Black Widow died, everyone remembered that she died, how she died. Captain America was a Hydra agent. Everyone remembers what happened, how he still got that memory. It was kind of like a thing where everyone comes back, but everything's fine, but they still have the memories of what happened. I think something like that will more than likely happen.
Ooh, that was like what comic? The Death of the Watcher. Yeah.
That was
right, yeah.
That was
Watcher, yeah.
Death of Watcher. What was that one again? Got that downstairs. I forgot what it's called. Too many comics, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that would be a good.
Original Sin.
Original Sin.
Original
that's
Sin.
it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah. And everybody was like, I remember everything. I know everything.
Oh yeah, that's how Thor lost his hammer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
the
sick.
Watcher was like, took the Watcher's eyeball. It was like, oh shit, no.
Yeah.
What?
Speaking of eyeballs, you like how Thor got his eyes back?
Oh man, I gotta give a shout out to Rocket
You want to
Raccoon.
clean that? Because I smuggled that out through my. Oh wait.
Yeah.
I gotta give a shout
out. Pulp Fiction after that. Was it Pulp Fiction? No, it was. Was it Pulp Fiction?
What?
Where the dad smuggled the watch.
Yeah, no, that was.
It wasn't Pulp.
Bruce Willis. It was with Bruce Willis, with Butch, the boxer.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
It was Pulp Fiction. I gotta give a shout out to Rocket Raccoon because
yeah,
I love that scene with Bucky and Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
That was sick. That was so sick. Where they were just like, come get some. Yeah. And he's like, how much for the gun? Not for sale.
Not for sale.
Well, how much is for the arm? Walks off. Oh, I'm getting that. I would love it.
Do you know what? I was semi-expecting him to pick up the arm after he disappeared. I bet you they've got that.
I was going to say, I would love it if by the end of the second one, the next Avengers movie, Rocket Raccoon is on the ship with that arm. That was so sick.
But he disintegrated with the arms. I was like, what?
They're coming back. You need to get it in your head that these people are coming back.
The disintegrated ones. Bitch got thrown off a mountain.
She's coming
back.
She'll be back.
She'll be back with a vengeance.
So what do we think of the Black Order? The what do we think of the Black Order?
You know what? I don't know too much about them, but
they were beautiful.
I thought they were good. I thought they were cool. Yeah, I thought Ebony Maw was dope. He was probably the best one.
Yeah, he was. He had that he was alright. I liked him. He's just this whole, I've never failed Thanos.
I don't think he's dead either. I think I don't think he's dead. He got thrown out, but I think he survived, even though he's all frozen.
Maybe it's space. Han Solo.
Yeah.
Maybe he has the power of the Force. Maybe.
Yeah. I didn't like the he got the Wilmhurst scream as well, innit?
Yeah, they did that on purpose. Yeah, from Aliens.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I liked Thanos' little crew, and so that takes me back to Did Steppenwolf have a crew when he was getting those boxes?
I feel like he's just a posse.
They're forgettable. It was the Parademons, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's a movie, man. Seriously, these movies were so similar, but one was done really, really good.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
They're not similar at all, man. This one was.
You get what I mean by when I say they're similar, though.
Yeah.
There are comparisons that you can make where you're like, okay, I get that. And one just did it really well. They're nowhere similar in class or story or character or visual effects, or do you know what I mean? But I just mean they're similar in the sense that you have these two larger than life beings coming to Earth and saying, "I want these. Let me have them."
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So, what are we saying for the title theories? Theories for Avengers 4?
New Avengers. I called that 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I would have said that if the old ones died.
They still could call it. If it's a thing where I'm not saying I'm right, God no, but if the original ones die, and then these ones are taken over, or maybe the third movie will be called New Avengers. Who knows?
That's what I'm thinking. I think
fifth movie.
Yeah. I think that the second one would be like Retribution or some shit. Like, I don't know, some madness where it's just like, no, we need to do something. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know if Tony's gonna go off the bandwagon. We don't know because I kind of feel like he feels bad. Obviously.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm thinking?
What do you think?
I think based on what you said about Tony, I think because he nearly died when Thanos stabbed him, and because Peter died, I think he's gonna do that thing where he does in the comics where he backs up his memories and stuff. I think, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
And start that kind of cloning process.
What they call it, reassemble.
Yeah.
They call it reassemble because it's the original group are gonna reassemble
or disassembled.
Well,
Avengers disassembled.
But they could have called this one disassembled because
they could have not with the Infinity.
The reason that's obviously no, it was called Infinity War. But the reason I say that is because Tony Stark, Iron Man, they didn't meet. Like the core group, the core group. They were Thor was there, Captain America was there, Hulk was there. Do you get what I mean? They were not together. They just weren't. They were disassembled.
Yes.
It just weren't.
And then they probably got disassembled.
Yeah, they just weren't. I don't think they'll call the next one disassembled. I think it's going to be an assembly, if that makes sense. They'll get together again.
Retribution, revenge, something. I don't know.
Where what's left, where the ones that
if this one was called Infinity War, maybe this one is called Thanos Quest, where they're gonna spin on it and do like they're going to look for Thanos.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Look at you with your theory.
Quest for Thanos.
Yeah. Thanos Quest.
So you never know. Yeah.
All right. I hope they have one where it's called Avengers World. I've always loved that title.
Ooh. But another thing that I'm kind of excited about. Did you see the video I posted where Hugh Jackman was chilling with Deadpool, and they were like, was
that the thing you sent the other day that I haven't looked at yet? Where you were like, what does this mean?
Yes.
Because I only saw what. So what happened there?
Okay, so basically, Hugh Jackman is chatting to the camera, and Deadpool is directly behind him, just singing away.
Chilling. Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's like, so basically, I'm doing I'm in the process of doing some things, and I'm looking around the room to see if there's any like yellow spandex or something. I'm just like, what's in the room? What's in the room? Like, so we're gonna keep you locked and loaded, and then like Deadpool's just like la 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 chatting shit behind him, and I'm just like.
I'm not even getting excited for that. I just can't.
I'm not getting.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna have a camo. Has Hugh Jackman.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be probably
probably have Deadpool just show up on the set of some movie like, hey, you're Hugh Jackman, big fan. Done. That's it.
But no, I was up. Sorry to spin on that. I was like, I'm excited for Miss Marvel because again, it prompts this nostalgic thing of like, when Rogue took all your powers. But then it's just
like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, but then it'll be fun to actually see like Marvel in action, like Captain Marvel actually in action. You know what I mean? Doing the thing. So
definitely. I think it's gonna. I think this. It's gonna be very different. I think because although we've had Thor and Thor's really powerful. They've said that Captain Marvel will be the most powerful Avenger we've seen.
He's stronger.
So I think, and even with this film as well, I think it's going to be. I think we're going to have a few films that are kind of down in a sense where people are like, this wasn't as good as a film as I thought it was going to be because this film was just.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Great. It was.
It was like watching
Winter
Soldiers fight scenes. That's what it felt like. It was just like, wonderful. But then it's just like, again, it's just like I think all the different. I think the films are going to be completely different, which is going to be lovely. And I think they're just going to be for us because it's at that point now where it's like we don't have to talk and tell you man nothing now. This is 10 years plus.
Yeah, so exactly.
From now on, it's just straight comic book scenes. That's all you do. So.
I like the way it ended as well because it ended in a way that that could be an ending.
Yeah,
they could finish.
They could leave it there.
They could just leave it there and
leave it there.
Don't, but like,
don't do it. But
so,
appreciate it.
How many nerds are we giving this movie? So it's out of 5, right?
Out of 5, I'll give it 4.
Well, no, not why, but
I'll give it 4.75. As a comic book movie, I'll probably give it 4.5, 4.75.
Okay. What about you, Kay?
I'm gonna give it like 4.5 nerds, like because it's pretty. Was it like a 4.5? Right? Is that 4? Yeah, basically because I never like to give anything full marks because I know I'm going to watch this movie one day and be like, wait a minute. But for the most part, this movie was perfect. Again, I've got no qualms with it. I've got no beef with it. It was really, it was done really, really well.
It's a part one, remember, as well.
Yeah,
so
it is a part one. It is
it's not actually finished yet.
Yeah, I look into this movie the way, like Kill Bill, where it's like volume one. He wrote, Tarantino. Tarantino wrote that together. You know what I mean? And he said it was basically too long, so you had to separate it. And we all know that Infinity War was kind of done in a similar way. So this movie ain't done.
I was gonna say, like I just said, it could have been a film in itself and be done and dusted. Yeah. The bad guy wins. So really and true for me, if it has a complete film, I would still give it that higher mark. But still, it's not complete. We know the second part is coming, but it can stand alone as a film itself, and as a film itself, it's a dope ending. It's a dope scene.
A guy who comes down, takes everybody out and then just goes on the beach and chills. That was a sick ending. I really liked that.
That was dope.
There we go.
Really
what would you give it, Isha?
Yeah, Isha.
I have to give it like a 4.8.9. Like, it was when you've been waiting for a character for so long. Yeah. And he comes and he does the damn thing. Like, and you've fallen in love with everybody else, like, you know what I mean? That's Strange, Captain America. Like, Captain America has grown as a character, like, exponentially. You know what I mean? And then Spider-Man is like, everybody's like, oh, this is a great stew. And then you just put in the best seasoning at the I love Thanos before, but I just love him even more now. Like, even more.
There's one thing that, like I said, when I came out, I thought, why did they kill I was at first disappointed about the people that they decided to kill. But then after thinking about it, I'm like, well, if it were other people, we would have guessed it. So it wouldn't have had that much.
Yeah, I like
that shock value of, they just did that.
I mean, having said that, when I thought that Iron Man died,
he should have died, I think.
Dude.
I think he should have died.
But it cuts more because Spider-Man dying, you know what I mean? Because it's like, he's been more or less raising Peter Parker to be the best superhero and whatever, and looking after him and thing, and then it's just like boom, and then as well, Spider-Man chose him as well in terms of on picking the sides. So it's just like, he's more or less my wingman. You know what I mean? It's just like, So no.
I think that's the only thing. I think that would have been a great send off for Tony Stark, and I don't think after watching that, I don't think there's going to be anything else that is kind of going to be impactful for him to die again. I could be wrong. It's the Russo brothers, so I could be wrong. But actually,
do you know what?
Yeah,
I'm glad that they took over for Joss Whedon because they have been killing it.
They have.
I mean, let's face it. Before Joss Whedon left, Captain America: Winter Soldier was everybody's favorite. It's still my favorite.
Yeah.
They've just been killing it ever since.
Yeah.
Everything they've done.
They doing the next couple films?
Sorry?
Are they doing the next 2 films?
They're doing part 4. Are they doing another one?
I don't know if they're doing another one. I don't know what's because to be honest, I don't know what the plan is after this. To be honest,
all we know is that it's Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, and then Infinity 4. I think they've like we talked about last week in our podcast. It was they're not going to be at Hall H, so I don't think they're going to be doing that. Revealing what's coming up for a while, but I heard that they are working on things up until 2025. So
okay, as long as they're doing the Infinities or they're doing the rest of these Thanos, I'm calling them Thanos quests. And then the Avengers assemble at the end, whatever. You know what I mean? Then I'm cool. I'm cool. So that's that. Like in terms of cementing the MUC like movie world, that's. If they're gonna do those films, then that's gonna be like nothing. No other comic book movie is gonna touch them. No other is gonna.
Are they're filming this now, right? Are they filming it now?
I think they've done.
I thought so. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they've done.
Because if the whole thing with Fox goes through, if they're gonna try and throw in like a little Easter egg of.
No, I don't think they will. And I think they don't. after seeing this, like having that thought that Silver Surfer might be in it or so and so might be in it, I think after seeing this, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's just finish this.
Just do what we're doing here.
Do what we're doing here, and then the possibilities of the everything getting resetted, maybe when they bring all the dead people back, that can be a catalyst
shows up.
You know, catalyst for mutants appearing. You know, something went wrong, kind of thing. You know, so
everybody got a quirk.
And boy, all I know is when Gladiator comes into this whole space thing, you got the Kree, the Gladiators, not Gladiator, what the Shi'ar.
Oh, the Shi'ar.
Yeah. We've got a lot more to go, man.
Yeah.
Even Kang the Conqueror. We need to see.
Bring the Eternals forth.
Let me tell you guys, your Marvel Cinematic Universe is gonna get real.
It's
so real.
Get down to the comic book shop now, or just ask your geek friend. Be like, fam, what's going on? Just take 5 minutes to learn. Not even 5 minutes, like half an hour. Like just to learn everything, condense. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna get spicy.
There's a lot. I'll say definitely read Hickman's Avengers run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, you guys, or we could call it there?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, we're
done. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
Issue 19.
If you haven't seen the movie yet, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sorry in it. We're not sorry. You should have seen it.
We're not sorry. You should have seen it by now.
We're really not sorry.
Should have got the seats.
Yeah, go and watch.
Go on, see it once, see it twice.
You know, real quick.
See it again.
Real quick. I was at the cafe with my friend today on my lunch break, and she saw it on Sunday and I saw it on Monday, and we were going to talk about it. And there was this guy sitting across from us. I had to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, sir. Have you seen Infinity War yet?" And he was like, "No." I said, "Are you a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, "Have you seen Infinity War?" He's like, "Not yet." And I'm like, "Sorry, we're about to spoil it."
You didn't spoil it though, did you?
No, we ended up saying no, we'll try and talk in code.
yeah.
Talking. See, this is what I mean by geek etiquette. Okay.
No, we didn't.
You know, there's like at least a 4-day window.
Yeah.
It's true.
People get the good seats, and they get seats for everybody before it's even out. And then people who see it when it's out, and then a couple days out. So you have to have a 4-day geek window, okay? And then you can spoil your heart's content because you shouldn't see it. So yeah,
4 days, right? When did they come out? Thursday,
a week ago.
Yeah.
6 days ago.
6 days. Here we go.
Yep. All right.
Ant-Man.
Yes.
Ant-Man. Let's saddle up this pony and see what's gonna happen with Ant-Man in them.
Ooh, and Ant-Man looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, that trailer did look good. Goliath project.
You're done comparing sizes. All right, guys. Peace out.
Love and peace.
Like, share, subscribe, share.
Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, The Source Wall.
One represents all. We the Source Wall.
We the Source Wall. Thank you. Until next week. 7:30ish on a Wednesday.